Alright. So, post lift, post pose down. You guys probably saw a little bit of that footage. Pretty happy. Pretty happy with how we're looking right now. I gotta say, cutting, so not the most energy, but not so bad. About a 1K deficit, but I like to make most of that through cardio. And so it's really more like, well, depends on how you look at it, but it doesn't feel like more than a 300 calorie, small deficit in terms of food restriction. Most of the deficit is being formed by cardio because I'm doing 900 cals in the morning on the bike, and then usually like 2 to 400 just walking around, active. And so, and I burn like usually just walking like 2,300, 2,400 a day, and so I'm ending my days like 3,700 burn, and eating like 25 to 26K on higher days. And again, like most of that's just from the cardio, and so it doesn't feel like I'm starving or anything, which is great. But hoping that I can continue at this pace for a few more weeks at least, aiming at like 170 or so, and then back off to like a maintenance sort of phase. Should be a lot easier diet-wise, lift-wise, and everything going forward. Getting across there. I'm gonna try and speak up a little bit because I know it was hard to hear earlier, but yeah. So I'm walking right now to Stop and Shop to get some groceries. Nothing too crazy. Try not to die here. Go through traffic. But I'm really just looking to restock on some leaner beef. Some beef heart, hopefully. Just around that 96% lean range, which is fucking dirt. But get some of that, and then, well, a carb source that I love. I'll keep that a secret for now. But assuming I keep up with these videos, they'll get pretty used to what that carb source is. I love it. I can't get enough of it. So we'll get some of that, which you'll see in a second when I pick it up. And yeah, can't keep yapping for too much longer. Not too much to say. Stop and Shop's up there, a bit of ways. But in terms of the workout, you probably noticed I didn't do too many sets. I think I got in there around 4:47, got out around 5:10, and that was with setting up this and everything. And usually I'm in and out a little bit quicker even. But this is pretty much first day really trying this out. And again, I need to get a tripod. I need to get a little mic because, but this is working fine right now. But so yeah, total like 23 minutes in the gym there, and majority of that was spent supersetting, right? So do a set of back, and then go straight into a set of chest. And that way, it's two different muscle groups. You don't really got to worry about resting like 3 minutes or whatever you normally rest, right? So you can get through the workout much quicker. So I think I did a total of 8 sets, 2 sets of pull-ups, 2 sets of neutral grip pull-ups, so for more lat bias, and then so like 2 sets of wide grip, 2 sets of neutral. And then I supersetted each of those sets with a set of chest or shoulders, right? So the first sets of pull-ups I supersetted with machine chest press, and then the second 2 sets of shoulders I supersetted with was it? Machine shoulder press. And I'm actually coming off about a week ago, a little bit less than a week ago, dislocating my shoulder. I think I already mentioned that. But and so if you saw me on those shoulder sets going kind of slow, a little bit lighter, that was why. This right shoulder here is dislocated 4 times now. Should probably bring the camera a little bit farther away. I don't know if you can hear me though. But 4 times, 4 dislocations. First dislocation was wrestling. We don't call it playing. It was wrestling in high school. 189. I loved it. I kind of hated it too, but I'm sure a lot of wrestlers, if you wrestled, you know that sentiment. You get that. Yeah, dislocated it wrestling. My coach, my assistant to coach in senior year. Season was ending. Literally last practice of the season. Dislocated it. So that was great. Went back in immediately and then dislocated it about a month later. Started lacrosse season. Not even playing lacrosse. I was like out with some friends throwing football around, and it just fucking came out. Relocated after a few minutes, but after that, had a few months where it was kind of fine, and then joined up rugby here in university. Dislocated it once a few months ago, and dislocated it about a week ago, and it did not want to go back in for hours, and it was cold outside, and it was terrible, and so healing back up. But anyway, I'll get a cart. I'm getting here. We'll start shopping. All right, so one thing I learned, I think it might have been Paul Saladino, but basically he said never, if you shop and try to be healthy, you never want to shop in the center aisles, right? You want to go to the edges. And so I usually just kind of walk out to the edge here. And first thing I always do here at Stop Shop is go to the meat aisle, because I love looking at the prices. Right, so they have a deal right now. 90-10 grass-fed ground beef for $5.79 a pound, which is freaking crazy. Love that stuff. But no, we're looking for something else today, right? So, I mean, I like to kind of just peruse just because it's fun for me. Right, so we're in the meat section. Not bad deals, nothing too crazy. $8.99. They had some crazy stuff last time. I got like 3 pounds of what was it, like 15 beef for like $2.90 a pound. It was crazy. Looks like they're all sold out of that though. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's fun while it lasted. So got lamb chops. Got some good stuff. Usually I try to stick with the grass-fed though. A little bit better. But I digress. I'm not really, actually didn't come here for that. What I came here for is over here. So they have a little, oh, here we go, actually, real quick. So this is the real cheap beef section. Yeah, they have some crazy deals right now. $2.99 a pound for, what is this? For 80-20. So I was bulking. That's what I'd be getting. I'm a broke university student. I don't care if especially if it's beef. I don't really care if it's a little bit worse quality, But not really looking for that. All right. Well, they got some pretty cheap 90-10 as well. Maybe I will come back and get some of that. But oh yeah, good. They actually got some cheap 93s, so we'll come back there. But anyways, what I was looking for here was this, because I forgot, this is the organ meat section, and look at this, where is it? Please tell me they have some. That would suck if they were out. I think it's some right here, right? Yeah. Beef heart. $4.99 a pound. And so I love this stuff. Look at the macros. 130 calories, 4 grams of fat, 19 grams of protein. So this is basically 96 ground beef for way cheaper, right? So we get like 2 pounds of this. And this will tide me over a few days. Um, what I like to do is just supplement this with the fattier beef I have. That way I can keep my fat down, So happy that we got to this. Whoa. 85.15 ground turkey for $2.99 a pound. I don't see. Let me tell you, Stop and Shop is a crazy freaking deal sometime, man. It's whole pork tenderloin for $2.50 a pound. Come on, you can't go wrong with that, right? Oh my god, I remember to look at the camera, but yes, that's crazy. That's crazy. Alright, well. Anyway. I don't quite need this right now. Maybe in the future. I'll think about it. But alright. So I'll grab this. Then I'm gonna come back over here because what I did see, I saw something that kind of piqued my interest earlier. Let's see, where is it? Yeah. So we're doing some crazy deals on the 93.7 ground beef. There's the camera right there, man. So this is $5.53, $5.55 a pound. Usually this stuff's like $8 a pound. Right, so not bad. But again, like look, $5.55 a pound. I mean, this isn't grass-fed beef. This is regular beef. This is even leaner. Beef heart we got to be leaner, right? I think it tastes great too. I think it has great flavor. So we're gonna go with this. But it's always good to mix it up. So maybe I'll come back. I got some good deals in the broad stuff too. 90-10 as well. Yeah. So anyway, it's time to make a perusal over because something over here in this other section, carbohydrate section for me, because this is where I get all my carbs from, the vegetable section. All right, so let's see if they have what I'm looking for. Man, did they raise the price? What? Surely not, right? Yeah, looks like they did. Wow. So usually I'm looking for this. Right, these sweet potatoes here. Love sweet potatoes, can't get them off, but I think they raised the price. So I think they. Let's see. Raise the price on those. Not only do they raise the price on those, but if you come over here, I got 2 pounds. Sorry, 10 pounds. These russet potatoes for $3.49 for 10 pounds. They had a 2-for-1 deal, but that's over, I guess. So they're really cracking down on these deals, huh? But the meat is what's cheap now, so you gotta love that. I can't complain. But I am gonna get, let's see, another 5-pound bag of these sweet potatoes. Price is a little bit higher. I think it was $3.49 before, but what are you gonna do, right? I love these things, so for me it's worth it. All right, let's see what's better. Maybe we'll roll this one at the bottom here. Well, actually, looks like you could maybe get more this bag, so I think I'm gonna go with that. All right. Oh yeah. All right, I don't really got a bag here, so I'm just gonna kind of go like that. Got the beef, got the potatoes, we're good. Solid. Yeah. The organic ones are like twice the price. I don't bother, you know. I think, first of all, I don't eat the skin anyway, and the skin of produce generally has most of the pesticides and stuff, so you can kind of just skip that. But, or skip getting the organic, in my opinion, if you're really, you know, if you're, you got a low-paying job like I do, and you're in uni trying to make by, right? You know, you do what you can. All right, well, I'm gonna go check out. I'll see you guys when we back. All right, so it is 5:45. Leaving Stop and Shop, done with the workout, done with the posing, done with the shopping, done with pretty much everything for the day. And I think I'm gonna go back home, back to my dorm, do some work, and maybe start editing a little bit. But you know, we'll get to that. But right now, I'm just walking back from what I would call a successful trip. So as you saw, we got 2 packages of beef heart. One was 1.07 pounds. The other one was 0.93 pounds. I like to keep it exact. Nice little 2 pounds there. And about 5 pounds of sweet potato, which they raised the price on, which is not great, but you know, what are you gonna do? So, but yeah, I can't say I'm not excited. I don't know if you can tell, but man, I love sweet potato. I was eating like 4 pounds a day at one point. Still am, but I decided to switch it up for some russet potatoes because, like I said, they had a deal, and I was excited to try those out. And those have been great. I think a video I'm gonna try and get out soon. It's a little discussion, a little breakdown about carbohydrate types, and more specifically fructose, glucose, and starch, maltose, all that sort of stuff, right? All those toses, those oses, those sugars, which I think a lot of people treat as interchangeable, but I do think there's some nuance there. I think you should kind of pay attention, or at least you should give some thought to the type that you're getting, because it can kind of affect how you feel and how you perform, especially, you know, if you're in a cutting stage, which it seems everyone is right now. I know I am. I know a little somebody named Sam Sulek is. I'm sure we all saw that video. Freaking smashed it. So happy. I mean, I've been watching this stuff for years now. At least a year, maybe a year and a half. It's hard to say because he's so new, but it feels like he's been there forever, you know. But you know, I remember when he was way smaller, less than 100K subscribers, and even much less. That's when I started, I think. So, anyway, but yeah, not too much more to say there. Gotta try and put out something about that, because I do think it is important to, you know, back on the topic of your carb type, to kind of pay attention and try stuff out, because there's also a lot of individual variance. You know, some people feel great eating a lot of fruit. I know I can feel pretty good eating fruit, but also a lot of people eat a lot of fruit, a lot of fructose, and they feel great short term and kind of long term, but in that midterm, like, you know, you want like, you know, an hour or two before a workout, you want to get some carbs, and they don't feel great. And that's kind of where I find myself. I feel great immediately after eating some fruit, and you know, throughout a day, if I'm not being like super immediately active, like I get some good sustained energy as well. But in that kind of in between space where I have like a workout coming up, it doesn't always cut it. So we'll talk about that. But and so I kind of switched to russets because they have some more starch than maltose and sucrose, which breaks down into glucose and fructose compared to sweet potatoes. And that's kind of where I was getting with that. But anyway, that's a tangent. The beef heart, though, was great. You know, people say source your organs reputably. You know, get some grass-fed in there if you can, which I agree with. I think you should. You know, if you get all buy organs from the Amish, if it's available, if it's an option, you can afford it. I think you 100% should. You know, buy your. I use the Amish as an example. You know, I used to buy milk from them, but no, I think you should buy quality organs. However, in the case of heart, the heart does less filtering than it does do muscle work. It pumps, right? The heart's a muscle. And so in terms of organs, glands, offal, right? Animal organs. The heart is closer really to muscle tissue than it is to organ tissue, both physiologically and also taste-wise and nutrient-wise, right? So you don't have to worry as much about the traditional toxicity buildup that you get from filtering organs like the liver and the kidney, right? Because the heart doesn't really do that. Its role isn't to filter or to release anything. It's not a gland, right? Like the pancreas. And so you can worry less and think about the heart. I think you can get some lower quality heart and still be fine. Some industrial beef heart, calorie ruminants. That's the other reason I like to eat beef over anything else. They're ruminants, so they have 4 stomachs. They process toxins better, and so cheaper beef is not as bad for you as say like cheap chicken. I do fundamentally believe that because the fat storage in the animal consists less of what they ate and the toxins they might have accumulated than say non-ruminant animals like chicken or pork, where it's much more of like a kind of one-to-one. You can take the animal and test the fat. You can actually see, like especially in pork, for example, and chicken, cheap poultry, that it has a high unsaturated or polyunsaturated fat content because it's eating a lot of cheap polyunsaturated grains, soy, all that sort of stuff. And we know that. Well, I don't want to say we know. I believe from the research I've seen that polyunsaturated fats, especially from cheaper GMO corn and all that sort of stuff. Not that GMO itself is inherently bad, but cheaper corn and soy can lead to inflammation, right? Especially if you're lifting and you're being very athletic and you're cutting your fats down already, like I am in a cut. I want most of my fats to be as high quality and as low inflammatory as possible, right? So I like to go with beef because of that. That's kind of my mantra. But anyway, keep yapping too much, but that is kind of how I think about it. So beef heart, I'm all for it. The other thing is, I guess I do want to keep yapping, don't I? Beef heart, like I showed you on the nutrition label, something like 4 grams of fat per 4 ounces. I mean, that's negligible, compared to like 80-20 beef, right? And so if you're gonna eat cheap meat, even if it's chicken, poultry, or pork, go for a leaner cut, because the toxins in meat is mostly stored in the fat. The toxins are mostly stored in the fat, right? And so you don't have to worry as much if you're getting a pretty lean cut with not a lot of fat. There's not a lot of toxins either way. There's also less nutrients, right? It goes both ways. And so if you're getting really high quality beef, then you want more of the higher fat stuff, so you actually get all that, those good fat soluble vitamins, vitamin K, vitamin E, all that, right? So, all right. Passing by what looks to be a community kitchen, my university's community kitchen. I didn't even know they had one of those. That's awesome, though. Assuming it's more for the supporting the local sort of environment more, because we have on-campus dining here that I choose to kind of forego most of the time, just because I love cooking and I love knowing exactly what's going in my body, and avoiding the oils they use. They do use a lot of seed oils, which I tend to get kind of mixed results from, like gastro-wise and also just kind of inflammation-wise. But you gotta see how your own body feels, right? Don't want to be too dogmatic. But anyway, what are we? 8 minutes in this little post-shopping rant. It's beautiful though. It is a beautiful afternoon. Cannot complain. Yeah. So very excited with the haul. Gonna go back. I think dinner today is gonna be likely some 90-10 grass-fed beef that I have left over from this morning, because lunch was 8 ounces of that, so I have 8 ounces of an open container. I also have like 16 ounces of an open 85-15 container non-grass-fed beef, so that needs to get eaten as well. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but the thing is the 85-15 is higher fat, right? So I got to be careful. I'm already, I think, like 30 grams in for the day. I don't want to overshoot, but We'll see. Maybe I'll have beef heart even, because that would be some room to spare. But all right. Oh, and egg whites. Got a lot of egg whites that I took from the dining hall, and so I gotta eat that up because they've been actually starting to smell a little bit. I don't want those going bad. All right. So anyway, it's gonna about do it. I guess I'll maybe check back in later. Maybe not. It's probably it for the day. But get that meal in. Maybe we might get a quick post about that. But yeah, that's it for day 50, 51 of the, it's called the Spring Cut. And episode 1 of Gains and Glory. I think that's what I'm going to call this series, so catch you guys next time. Alright guys, I know I said might be for the videos, but I just want to kind of show what I got going on in my dorm. Alright, so, well, bed action. Of course, you gotta have your bed. And then right under here, what is that? Oh, little fridge. Oh, shit. Gotta shift some stuff over, but look at that. Freaking fridge. How convenient, right? And so we got some beef, some, what is this? Some other beef. That's what I'm gonna, I think, have for dinner. And then egg whites, just from the dining hall. Gotta peel some eggs sometimes every once in a while. Get some for the next day. Some apples, and then some Tupperware. This is a little bit of, where is this? This is raw milk container. I gotta return Provisions on State. They have some great stuff. If you're in New Haven, Connecticut, that's where you should get your shit. Okay. Let me unpack some of this. So let's go what we got. All right, so we got the beef heart. What is this? 1.07 pounds. Good stuff. Gonna put it down at the bottom of the fridge just so that it defrosts. I tend to have a pretty high temperature gradient in this thing because it has like a crisper, and so instead of a freezer, that's one of those small ones, and so it gets kind of cold toward the top. And then 0.93, right? This stuff's already frozen pretty much, and so if I want to have it thawed by tomorrow, I'm gonna have to start defrosting it now. I'm gonna have to rearrange some stuff so it all fits in here, but I guess for now I'll just chuck it down here. Yeah. Well, I'll fix that later. But anyway, that's that. Then over here, yeah, get out my taters. Right, over here we have in the closet little potato bag right there at the bottom, because you're not supposed to keep potatoes in the bags you put them in. Awesome, so that's all sorted. All right, well, catch you guys for the first meal, maybe. Alrighty, we live. So I thought I'd kind of record a little dinner overview session, because why not, right? So decided to go with the 90-10 beef. So we got about half a pound of 90-10 beef, 225 grams, and then like actually, I don't think I weighed this sweet potato, did I? I'm gonna assume it usually loses like 10% after cooking. So what's 304 right now? I think this thing was like 340 or so. 340 grams of sweet potato, and I like to just kind of de-skin it, just because it's easier to eat that way, and then I mash it up. Usually, when I'm in maintenance or in a bulk, I like to add a little bit of raw honey to it, you know, and that really spruces it up. But you know, since we're cutting right now, gonna have to do with a little bit of Splenda instead, which I don't mind. I think it's mean, look, I'm all on eating natural, but I kind of, well, I used to actually be really against it, but after trying it out, you know, especially when I'm cutting, I was like, damn, this is good. This is good, and no calories, and you know, I don't really feel like having a normal plain old sweet potato without any Splenda. Now that I've kind of ruined my taste buds, I've gotten used to this good sweet false sugar, dextrose, whatever they use in that. So, you know, I think a little bit's not going to hurt you, basically. But at this point, I'm having quite a bit. Even on my russet potatoes, I'll put some Splenda nowadays. Anyway, so skin is all taken off, like so. Put this in a little trash can down here. Clean my fingers off. And pretty much there you have it, right? A little bit of beef, a little bit of sweet potato, a bit of beta carotene, vitamin E, vitamin K from the beef. This is actually grass fed. Nature's Promise. They make some pretty good stuff. And that's pretty much it. And then what I'd like to do over here, let's see if I have like some spices and stuff. I like to basically come over. First thing I do, cinnamon. Cinnamon goes on just sweet potato, right? A little bit on there. Looks good. Ooh, almost spilled that. And then come over here. Splenda from the dining hall. And just put a little bit of that on the sweet potato as well, as you can see. And then final step, ooh, gotta keep spilling shit, is salt. A little bit of salt. That goes on everything, right? Can't go wrong with that. Kind of busted up this salt shaker recently, and so it's not quite working like it used to. I dropped it. Trying to move everything back from where I cook, which is outside, outside my room in the suite. I have a little setup, which I'll show you guys probably at a different time. But anyway, I actually lied. Last step here is a little bit of oregano, dried oregano. I think it adds quite a bit of flavor, especially when you're doing eggs. I love to do that in the morning. Speaking of eggs, I have some egg whites I need to get eaten. So usually, I don't have any egg whites until my fifth and final meal of the day. Besides my first meal of the day and my second. So, I mean, what I'm saying is I don't usually have any egg whites for lunch and dinner. Meals 3 and 4. You know, I'm eating about 5 meals a day, and I typically like to do egg whites when I'm ending or beginning a period of a long protein withdrawal, aka sleep. Right, so when I wake up, I like to just immediately right out of bed, 6:30 a.m. I like to down like 100 grams of egg whites just to get some protein in my system, and then a little bit of egg whites in there. So I'll do like 100 now. Why not? And before bed, I'll have a bit more. 124, sure. Finish these up today. Like I said, they have to be eaten. And then later, once these are done, start working my way through some of the beef heart that I got, right? But anyway, this is about it. I'm not gonna take too much longer. Egg whites, sweet potato, beef, everything a man needs on his cut. And I'm looking up now my little cut tracker. It's just a whiteboard. I got some X's on it, and we are at day, I believe officially, 51.75 completed after today. 0.75 because I had a night where I hit a 750k or 750 calorie deficit instead of 1,000, and so I like to count one day only when I hit that full 1k. Anyway, coming off of a dry streak, 4 days of maintenance recently because I dislocated my shoulder, like I said. Wanted to give my body some more fuel to recover. But going forward, since I'm all recovered, pretty much feeling decent. You saw my workout. Didn't dislocate again. I would have lost my shit if that happened. That would have sucked, freaking sucked. But going forward, it's gonna be tight, right? A few more weeks. I'm really just looking to get like 3 more solid weeks at 2 pound loss a week, which is about what a 1K deficit gives you. I think I'm on track, and that'll put me around 170. We're at like 176, 177 right now. So hoping 3 more weeks, and we'll be at our goal. Start a little maintenance phase. Going to Argentina for a sport event. I play rugby, and I can't wait for that. But till then, we're cutting, and it's going great so far. And hopefully, next video that comes out will be another successful lift, maybe some eating on a cut day. Maybe day 52.75. We'll see. All right, catch you guys next time.